Welcome to your January 2025 astrological forecast for all 12 signs. I'm your astrologer, Patricia Tate. I specialize in traditional, Western, and evolutionary astrology. I'm excited to share this month's astrology forecast with you. Please like and subscribe as it helps the channel to grow. If you're new here, welcome. You can find more about my offerings at willowgracemystic.com. And for those of you who've been following me, thank you for your continued support. As we usher in the 2025, the signs to focus on are going to be Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and Cancer. The universe, the cosmos, it's priming us to lay down these foundations that wants us to explore these connections, to delve into introspections. The month of January is really dominated by the structured energies of Capricorn, this forward-thinking vibes of Aquarius, and the dreamy flow of Pisces. And it's pulling us in with the nurturing feelings of Cancer. Each of these influences is going to play this key role in shaping the themes of January, making this a time for new beginnings, meaningful connections, and personal reflection. Capricorn energy is very disciplined, and it's about being organized, being structured. Having the sun in Capricorn until January 19th, the sun in Capricorn, it's setting the stage for us being very productive and starting off our year. The energy has encouraged us to have this disciplined goal setting, to establish these practical systems that we can build on over time. It's going to be perfect time to tackle any projects that require focus, such as setting your resolutions or organizing your home or finances or the planning of long-term strategies. With Mercury joining in or being in Capricorn until January 9th until the 29th, Mercury's transit through Capricorn, it amplifies the urge to get us organized and to communicate effectively with people around us. Use this time to address any lingering conversations or resolve any pending issues or tackle these detailed work like budgeting or preparing for taxes. The grounded energy of Capricorn, it helps us to focus on practicality and realism. It's offering us a chance to correct the excess from Sagittarius season. Now, utilize Capricorn's energy to set your intentions for the rest of the year, and both ambiguous and realistic. This is an ideal time to build systems that you can sustain over the coming months. Now, Aquarius energy is about connection and innovation with others far and wide. The sun is going to be in Aquarius from January 20th onward. So then the energy is going to shift with a focus on transitioning from structure to now innovation with community. The themes of individuality and independence and working towards these collective goals, they're now going to take a center stage. It's going to be a really great time to connect with like-minded individuals, to explore new technologies, to participate in group activities that align with your purpose, your values. Mercury is in Aquarius beginning on January 29th, so it'll stay here until that time. And Mercury's move into Aquarius at the end of the month will highlight you having these fresh ideas and innovative thinking. This transit can inspire you to reevaluate your relationships with technology, whether that means embracing new tools or considering maybe a digital detox. The Aquarian energy, it's inviting you to think outside the box. Lean into creative problem solving. Explore unconventional ways that can enhance your connections with all people that you pursue or all projects that you pursue. Venus is going to be in Pisces, and this brings about romance, reflection, creativity. It'll be here from January 3rd to February 5th. Now, Venus in Pisces, it's going to be softening the edges of the month. It's bringing this dreamy, compassionate influence to your relationships, to creative pursuits. This transit is encouraging quiet reflection, deeper emotional connections with others, private or behind-the-scenes work. This is going to be an excellent time to revisit artistic hobbies or nurture your spiritual side, or just simply retreat in a space of calm and creativity. Expect romantic and creative nostalgia at this time, rediscovering old habits, projects that bring you joy. Heightened intuition and emotional sensitivity is when Venus is in Pisces, and it's retreating to recharge. It's whether it's through meditation or art or solitude, it's a time to go within and fill up our own batteries. Mars and Venus retrograde, we have this influence this month because with Venus continuing its retrograde path of where it's going to be retrograding over, and Mars, its inward focus throughout January, it's going to be a month to reflect on your past patterns with love, with money, with self-expression. These retrogrades, they're offering us this opportunity to truly revisit and refine these areas of your life where old methods may still hold value. This month is going to begin with the grounded energy of Capricorn, of building structure, urging you to establish structure, balance, and transition into innovative spirit that Aquarius brings, sparking this connection and creativity with others. Venus in Pisces is offering this grounded undercurrent of internal reflection and artistry. January is this harmonious blend of productivity and introspective. So January 2025 transits that I'm keeping my eye on. I want to start as of January 3rd. Mercury retrograde will finally be out of its shadow, marking it behind us. This makes this significant shift, making it feel like the new year can finally begin. Now, Mars retrograde is still occurring, and it's maintaining this introspective and reflective tone. But the end of Mercury retrograde, it brings this wave of clarity and momentum of, I see it, I can now move forward. This shift supports a smoother planning and forward thinking, with the lingering fog of the retrograde energy starting to finally lift, giving rise to a sense of fresh possibilities and renewed focus. Now, on January 3rd, Venus is going to enter into the sign of Pisces. So expect compassion, empathy, a desire to help others without expecting anything back in return. Expect this heightened creativity, emotional sensitivity. This is really ideal for artistic expectations, expression, and reflection. Use this transit to connect on a deeper level with your loved ones and focus on your spiritual pursuits. Also on January 3rd, what I think is probably the most powerful and difficult aspect of this month is we have Mars in Leo opposing Pluto in Aquarius. Now, this is the second occurrence of this powerful opposition. The first was in November of 2024 with both planets in the 29th degree, the anaretic degree. And this one has the clash of the two of them moving to the early degrees of Leo and Aquarius. And so the third will happen in April of 2025. And so this is an influence that you will feel 7 to 10 days before and 7 to 10 days afterwards. The challenge is that the most important thing to realize about this is this aspect, it's taking place during a Mars retrograde. So any aggression, any negativity, or any angry behavior is going to retrograde back to you with more strength. So expect this heightened potential for power struggles, anger, destructive tendencies. Mars retrograde here, it really amplifies the risk of aggressive actions backfiring. Avoid confrontations and see if you can channel your frustrations into constructive outlets like exercising, journaling, or therapy, speaking to someone. On January 8th, we're going to have Mercury entering into Capricorn. Now, the themes for this are practicality, discipline, focus on your long-term goals. This is a really great time for detailed planning, organizing, making the progress you need to move forward on major projects. Use this energy to tackle these tedious tasks, such as financial planning or professional strategies of I need a short, a middle, and a long-term goal. On January 13th, the Sun in Capricorn is going to be trine Uranus in Taurus. Now, trines are these harmonious aspects where the planets are working together. And so I love a trine. This one is encouraging innovative breakthroughs with stable frameworks. It supports calculated risks that can lead to these lasting improvements. The opportunities are you can experiment with fresh ideas, you can step outside of your comfort zone. Focus on goals that blend creativity and practicality. January 13th also brings us this full moon. Remember that full moons, they illuminate what was once hidden behind the veil that we couldn't see. And this one is in the watery sign of Cancer. And so it's going to be very emotional, very focused on self-care, your emotional needs, a time to nurture yourself, to resolve personal or family issues between you and others. Take this time to reflect on your home, your family life, and address any areas that need attention. Next, on January 15th, we have the Sun in Capricorn. This is opposing Mars in Cancer. Oppositions are difficult. One opposes the other. It's like a standoff. And so this is a tense aspect that can highlight personal frustrations or external challenges. Look to channel your frustration into productive actions rather than internalizing them for this transit. On January 19th, the Sun is going to enter into Aquarius. So the energy is now going to shift into broad-minded. It's going to focus on the future, individuality, unconventional approaches. It's going to be excellent for envisioning changes and pushing the boundaries of. Explore innovative ideas and look to connect with people within your community that are like-minded. Also on January 19th, we're going to have Mercury in Capricorn, sextile to Saturn in Pisces, and Venus in Pisces. So sextiles are these harmonious aspects where the planets are working together to move you forward with any difficult areas. And so this is a time that's encouraging clear thinking, practical decision making. You're going to be finding it that it's easier for you to get along with others, for you to use your imagination. This is going to be a great time for seeking advice or for planning that long-term goal or to make new connections. On January 21st, the Sun is in Aquarius and it's going to be conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. Now, a conjunction is when the two planets are merging their energy together, or the two bodies. The Sun is like the Sun and the Moon are considered to be luminaries, and so the Sun being you conjunct Pluto. Pluto is the planet of death and transformation, and so this is about having this passion for transformation with future-oriented thinking. There's going to be this intense focus on independence and personal power for yourself. Look to this as a time that you can take these bold steps forward towards your goals, but being mindful of power dynamics between you and others. On January 23rd, Mars is going to be in Cancer and it's going to be sextile to Uranus and Taurus. This is another harmonious aspect. This aspect is encouraging innovative solutions for you to have this independent action. Take time to think outside the box while staying grounded with these realistic outcomes. Original ideas, realistic focus. I absolutely love this for connecting and sharing ideas. On January 28th, we're now going to have Venus stationing. This is the shadow period before Venus stations retrograde. And so make note of this time of moving forward of what is going on in your life. The energy is going to now begin to go over an area where you're going to be shifting inward and backward, focusing on revisiting old themes of relationships and values. You're going to want to wrap up any new ventures earlier in the month to prepare for this slower pace. On January 29th, Mercury is going to be in Aquarius and it's going to be conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. Remember, a conjunction is when they combine their energy to push for change. And so this is about intense mental focus, a passion for deep exploration of your thoughts, ideas, communication, travel. You can have the opportunity of solving complex problems, communicating transformation ideas effectively with others. Also on January 29th, we're going to have this Aquarius new moon. Remember, new moons are fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings. And so this is an ideal time for you to set your intentions that are related to your future, innovation, independence, embracing these unconventional opportunities that align with your goals that you have for a unique vision for your future. Look to harness these energies to align with your personal goals and to help you navigate the powerful transformative transits that January can bring. Offerings this month. Join my Patreon community for exclusive astrology content. As a member, you're going to gain early ad-free access to videos, monthly live tarot and astrology Zoom sessions. It's the perfect space if you're ready to dive deeper into the celestial currents. Go to the link below in the description and explore the different membership tiers. I have a special for Capricorns. Celebrate your birthday with a specialized solar return chart reading at a special rate. Use the code Capricorn10 at checkout to enjoy this limited time discount. Schedule your appointment today and discover what the universe has in store for you for your year ahead. Additionally, I'm offering live astrology consultations every other Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Reserve your spot and get in the queue because spaces fill up fast, so be sure to sign up using the link below. I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you to help you navigate your unique journey. So let's dive in. So for Aries Sun, Moon, and Rising, I first want to bring you to January 3rd. So on January 3rd, we're going to have Venus. Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, money, resources, and she's now entering into the sign of Pisces. And so the focus is going to be on your spiritual growth, inner healing, retreat, wanting to be alone, going within. And so expect heightened empathy, creative insights to just like being connected to your dreams, your intuition. Explore these artistic and spiritual pursuits where you can do them within solitude, such as yoga, meditation. Prioritize self-care and a connection with your deeper emotions at this time. Also, I want to bring you your attention to what I think is the most powerful aspect of the month is this Mars opposite Pluto. And so Mars in Leo opposite with Pluto, your fifth house is about children and creativity. And so now we're bringing in this opposition of tension between what you want for your personal creative expression and these group dynamics, because the 11th house is your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals. Who do you align yourself with? And so there can be these power struggles within friendships or social causes that can now be brought to the surface. Look to avoid any conflicts within social settings at this time. Look to see if you can channel your frustration into creative projects or therapeutic outlets so you can avoid any destructive outcomes, because this is the second of 3 and it will be it's tense. It's at the beginning degrees of, and so it's initiating something new. As we move to January 8th, we now have Mercury entering into the sign of Capricorn. So Mercury, thoughts, ideas, communication, travel, technology, entering at the top of your chart. Now, I love this because Mercury can really help you out with your career, your job, your reputation, these long-term goals that you have. It's ideal for professional planning, for organization. Strategize for success within your career. Review your public image at this time and look to make adjustments for your growth. Next, on the 13th, so on January 13th, we're now going to have a couple events happen at the same time. We're going to have the Sun in Capricorn trine to Uranus and Taurus. So here we have the Sun, and it's going to be in a harmonious aspect. And we're also going to be having a full moon. But let me start with having the Sun in your 10th house. Things are focused on your career. So it brings about innovative opportunities because Uranus is in your second house of money, resources, cash, property. And so these innovative opportunities within your career, within your finances. Expect to have these breakthroughs and bringing you stability and growth for your own personal skill set. Take these calculated risks between your professional ventures or these financial strategies at this time. Blend creativity and with practical ideas for lasting success. On the same day, you're also going to be having a full moon. Now remember, full moons, they bring about culminations, closures, endings. They reveal things that we did not see before. And so this full moon has something to do with illuminating your emotional needs, your home life, your family matters. This is going to be a time for deep reflection inward and focusing on your your personal habits, your living situation, your personal life. Resolve these tensions that come up and look to nurture your living environment with the people that are living there with you, or parents or grandparents. Make sure that you are prioritizing self-care and your emotional well-being, because this is in the sign of Cancer. It's watery, it's fluid, it's about feelings and intuition. Next, on January 15th, we're now going to have the sun in Capricorn, and now it's going to be opposite of Mars. And so the sun still focused on your career, your job, and so an opposition, those are difficult. And so there's this tension between your career, your responsibilities, your ambitions, things that you want to do, you being seen in the public life, and things going on at home. Remember that Mars is retrograde, and so it's inner frustrations that can now arise. It's about you needing to find this balance between your professional demands and your personal life of something that's going on at home, and you saying, how do I channel my frustrations into these practical solutions? Next, on January 19th, we have the sun entering into the sign of Aquarius. Now, this brings a huge shift towards networking for you. It's about community involvement. It's your thoughts moving to your future-oriented goals. There will be these thoughts of, I want to connect with groups that are align with my goals. I want to connect with like-minded individuals. I am aspiring to do this. Explore these innovative projects with like-minded individuals. Also, there's going to be, on the same day, Mercury in Capricorn. So we're still focused on your job. So all of this is like you in the outside world, and it's in a harmonious aspect with your 12th house. So we have Saturn in Pisces and Venus in Pisces in your 12th house. So this is adding another layer, saying, I have this clear thinking with my job, my career planning, my spiritual connections. I'm looking for collaborations. I want to have this drive for imagination, paying attention to synchronicity, dreams, messages that you receive. Remember that the 12th house is the things that we receive from the outside world that give us ideas of what I should be doing, of like, how do I stay in sync with things. So dreams, intuition, our ancestors, guides, angels giving us messages. And so this will be a time for you to build these relationships that support your professional and your spiritual goals and pursuits. Seek advice for these long-term projects. Next, on January 21st, now we're going to be moving into, the sun is going to be in Aquarius. So we're building up to this, and it's going to be merging its energy with Pluto. It's conjunct with Pluto. And so Pluto is magnet, and it says it either pulls in or it repels. And it's insisting that there is a transformation of what you have been doing. There's this intense focus on transforming your role within your social circles for your future ambitions. I would look to embrace leadership opportunities. I would be mindful of these power dynamics within group settings of you taking over, somebody else wanting to take over. On January 23rd, we now have Mars in Cancer and it is going to be in a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus. So we have Mars still retrograde, and it is in a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus, so working together. And so think about innovations within your home, within your family dynamics, within your finances, your personal resources. This is an opportunity for you to create these practical solutions, you thinking outside the box to resolve these home-related issues, or how can I improve my financial stability? As we move to the 28th, we now are looking at, this is Venus retrograde shadow period. So we look to where Venus is, and she's in your 12th house. And so this is the area that she's going to go retrograde over. So paying attention to what starts now, because this will begin the introspection within your relationship, your self-worth, these hidden patterns, reflecting on emotional patterns and preparing for the shift in how you approach love, values, and identity, because she's going to move into your first house before she retrogrades. On the following day, on the 29th, we're now going to have Mercury in Aquarius, and it's going to be conjunct Pluto. So everybody's taking their time crossing over and connecting with Pluto on this path. And so this brings intense mental focus on networking for you. It's being magnetized to people or a repelling of. Remember, it either draws in or pulls away. And so there's these group dynamics, there's this shift within these future visions that you have, and you wanting to communicate these transformative ideas and solve these complex problems with clarity. On the same day, at the same time, you're going to be having this new moon. Remember, new moons, fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings. And I love this one because it's a fresh start within social aspirations. I want to start this group. I want to be in front of this group. I want to be in charge of this group. I have this new goal. This is about having these group endeavors that you want to be in charge of or that you're connected with, and these visionary goals. Make sure that you set intention for innovative projects that align with these bold visions that you have for yourself for your personal future. So Aries, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we're starting off with Venus. Venus is your chart ruler. It's always important for you to be following wherever she goes. She represents money and love and values, and she wants to bring people, places, and things together. She's a connector. And so Venus is now entering into Pisces. And for you, this is a focus on friendships and your group affiliations, your long-term aspirations. This is a compassionate and harmonious time for you that the energy is going to enhance your social connections with others. It's basically strengthening your bond within your community, and it's about you collaborating on creative or spiritual goals with others. On the same day, we're going to have what I think is the most powerful aspect of the month. We're going to have Mars in Leo opposing Pluto in Aquarius. Now, the first time this happened was in November, and the 29th degree, the ending degree of Cancer and Capricorn. And so that was ending something major. And so now we are beginning something new. And this is a tense opposition. It's really hard. This is a tense opposition between your home life, your career ambitions. It's about power struggles with family. There can be authority figures that can arise. Avoid confrontations within home or work. Look to channel these frustrations in you creating this harmonious balance between your personal and your professional responsibilities. Next, on January 8th, we're now going to have Mercury entering into the sign of Capricorn. Mercury, thoughts, ideas, communication, travel, technology, how we do these things. And it's in a house that really brings your focus on education, travel, philosophical exploration, having this disciplined approach that I could take this class, I can learn this. It's about publishing, it's about legal matters. It's about learning and teaching and thriving while you can do this, because Mercury in Capricorn, it's saying, let's plan our educational goals. Let's plan our travel goals. Let's expand our worldview. Let's engage in structured thinking that can refine our personal beliefs. The next date I want to bring you up to is the 13th. So on January 13th, we have a couple of things going on at the same time. We have the sun in the sign of Capricorn, and it is in a harmonious aspect with Uranus in your first house of self, your identity. And so I love this harmonious aspect because it's working together to create change, change that will last over a longer period of time. And so having Uranus align with the sun at this time is about aligning your personal identity with your global perspective, expecting these breakthroughs with self-expression or learning that can now emerge. You stepping out of your comfort zone to explore new philosophies or opportunities that can help you align with your personal values. On the same day, we're going to have a full moon in the sign of Cancer. Now, remember that full moons, they're about endings, closures, culminations. They bring to light something that we haven't seen before. And a Cancer full moon is very in tune. It's watery, it's psychic, it's fluid. And so this is highlighting communication for you, learning, relationships that have to do with neighbors, siblings, cousins. There's this emotional clarity that comes from your daily interactions with others. Focus on, I need to resolve any misunderstandings within my immediate environment, because this is where things can end, and it can be brought to light, an area that I need to focus on. And so focus on nurturing conversations and sharing your thoughts and ideas with those that are closest to you. Next, on January 15th, we have the sun in Capricorn, and it is going to be, so we're still focusing on your sun in Capricorn, opposite of Mars in Cancer. Now, an opposition, that is a tense aspect. This is about a clash between you and your big picture goals and the immediate tasks that people, places, and things want you to do. And that could be travel, it could be educational plans. This is about you facing delays or conflicts. Balance your long-term aspirations at this time with your short-term demands, because Mars is stationed retrograde, going back over some areas. Use this energy to take some time to clarify your personal priorities. Next, on January 19th, we are looking at the sun now moving into the sign of Aquarius. And so it brings this big picture focus of everything that you've been doing, and now brings it to your career, your public reputation, your long-term goals, taking what you've learned and now saying, now what am I going to do with it? How can I best use this? There can be opportunities for innovation and leadership that can now emerge. Look to take these bold steps within your professional life. Look to align your ambitions with your future-oriented strategies. Also on the same day, we're going to have Mercury in Capricorn. So Mercury in Capricorn is going to be sextile to Saturn in Pisces and Venus in Pisces. So two things going on at the same time. This is a harmonious aspect, really pushing you to say, I want to take this and move this forward with practical thinking that supports my long-term goals. I'm ready to focus on some community projects. It's strengthening your connections that you have with others. Look to seek out mentorship or collaborative opportunities or these meaningful projects that you can work with other people that share your same ideals. On the very next day, the sun is going to be in Aquarius, and it will be now conjunct with Pluto. Now, a conjunction is when the two planets merge their energy together, or in this case, it's a luminary and a planet. And so the sun representing you and Pluto saying it's time to transform. We're now taking this time to say, I need to focus on my career. I need to focus on transforming my career, my public image. This is going to be this powerful opportunity for you to redefine your professional goals. Embrace these changes that can come from leadership roles. Avoid any power struggles at this time and focus on the long-term vision, because Pluto, it either pulls in or it repels. It's like a magnet, and it wants you to transform. Looking at January 23rd, we now have Mars in Cancer. It's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus in Taurus, with you, your first house. And so I love this because now it's about fresh ideas and you communicating these strategies with your neighbors, your siblings, your cousins. It's how can I share these ideas with others? How can I get the word out? How will this change me? This is a dynamic period of you using this for self-expression and innovation. You can approach challenges with these creative solutions. So look to stay open to new ways of thinking and how do you present yourself. As we look to January 28th, the energy is going to be shifting for Venus. Venus is now going to be entering an area of your life of where this is the pre-shadow that she's showing you what's going to go back, and she's going to alter or dissect or change. And so there's going to be a shift in a focus of your past friendships, your group affiliations, you reevaluating your long-term goals, reflecting on your role within communities, that you can revisit these old aspirations and these connections. Know that whatever is going on now, you will go back and shift, change, and alter. On the 29th, we're going to have Mercury in Aquarius, and this is going to be also conjunct Pluto. And so we're taking the way that you communicate and saying it's now time to transform this. There's this intense focus on your career strategies, your public image. There can be transformative ideas that can lead to breakthroughs within your professional life. This is an opportunity for you to communicate boldly and address any deep-seated professional challenges that can come up with you or authority figures. Use this transit for strategic planning of what do you want to change? What do you want to, how do you want it to look in the end? Because you're also going to be having a new moon at the top of your chart with your career, your job. And so this is a fresh start with career, public recognition, planting the seeds to start something new, like a transformation of sorts. So there can be these opportunities that can arise with you setting these ambitious goals that are about being innovative within your profession. Set intentions for professional growth that aligns with your growth and have this future focused vision. I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For exclusive content and deeper insights, visit my Patreon, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I want to start off with January 3rd. You're going to have Venus now entering the top of your chart. And this is your career. I love Venus in Pisces because at the top of your chart, this is about enhancing harmony, creativity, compassion within your career or your public image. You being seen as someone who's kind, compassionate. I need to make money at this. This is a favorable time for you to showcase your artistic or your empathetic side at work. Strengthen your professional relationships, and you can use this to focus on how can I present my talents to enhance my reputation. Now, on the same day, we're going to have what I think is probably the most tense aspect of the month, and that's going to be Mars in Leo and it's opposite of Pluto in Aquarius. And so the first time this happened was in November. And that was at the end degrees of both of Capricorn and Cancer. And so that was ending a chapter. And so this is at the beginning degrees. And so this is the third activation. And it's the beginning of I'm initiating where I want change. And so we're looking at these intense dynamics that are going to be in the way that you communicate, in the way that you learn, in the way that you travel. There can be conflicts that can arise between your short-term plans, your long-term aspirations and goals. Look to avoid heated arguments or debates or confrontations at this time. Focus on these constructive discussions of how can I balance my immediate tasks for my big picture goals. On January 8th, we now have Mercury entering into the sign of Capricorn. Mercury is your chart ruler. It's always important for you to be following where is Mercury. And so for you, it's moving in the 8th house, which brings a shift on focus for you with your shared resources. You focused on your finances, deep emotional and psychological exploration of fears, and your connection to others that can be with like a business partner, an ex, a family member, or this could also be like your life partner or where you have money invested. And so this will be a time that you're going to want to address financial matters such as debts, investments. You're going to want to engage in this introspective work that you can uncover hidden truths or patterns that could be holding you back, because the 8th house is the house of deep psychological healing and from past traumas. Like, how do I uncover my fears and work through them? Then on January 13th, we have a couple of things going on. We now have the Sun in Capricorn, the Sun being you, and it's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus in your 12th house. And so we have, there can be these opportunities, which is going to be great for you because you were uncovering them. And now it's a breakthrough for healing, spirituality, or your financial matters. The Sun is illuminating this area of your life, and Uranus is, I need to break free from the fear of or uncover these things that were hidden. I need to do the work that's behind the scenes. So look to explore these innovative approaches that you can use to solve or resolve any financial or emotional challenges that you have. Embrace solitude for reflection and for growth. On the same day, you're going to be having a Cancer full moon. So the Sun is, the Sun is doing this with Uranus, but it's also reflecting on the moon in your second house of your cash, your property, your financial matters, your self-worth, your personal values. And so there can be something ending, some kind of a culmination. It brings clarity to your income. It brings clarity to spending habits. This could be paying off debt. This could be focused on where is all my money going, or what is my skill set worth, or changing something that has to do with your finances. And so review your budget. Focus on aligning your resources with your core values. Nurture your sense of security and stability, because this is a Cancer full moon. It's very feeling, like tears and emotions, and wanting to focus on home and stability. Now, next on the 15th, we have the Sun in Capricorn, so we're still focused on you. And with this, it's opposite of Mars in Cancer. Oppositions are difficult. They oppose each other. So having the Sun focused on you and your resources that are invested or connected to other people, opposing you and your personal resources, your personal money. It's about tension that comes up between shared resources and your personal income. This can be financial frustrations that can surface. Balance your personal finances with your shared responsibilities. Avoid any impulsive financial decisions at this time, because Mars is stationing retrograde. It's going back and looking at your books again. On January 19th, we're now going to look at the sun now moving into the sign of Aquarius. And so the sun always representing where you are, what you're focused on, what you're doing, in a harmonious aspect to your rising sign. And so the focus is on expanding your thoughts, your ideas, your connection to others, your horizons through travel, higher learning, exploring new philosophies. The sun here wants you to pursue these opportunities for intellectual growth. You enrolling in a class or a workshop or planning a trip or engaging in spiritual exploration. We also have on the same day Mercury in Capricorn, and it's in a harmonious aspect to Venus and Saturn in your career sector. And so we're taking what is your resources combined with other people and now saying, how can I better use this? So it's about practical thinking. It brings up topics of how can I support my financial planning through career development. It's encouraging this thoughtful decision making to have a goal. It's you seeking professional advice on financial matters or establishing goals for your career growth. Next, on January 21st, we now have the sun in Aquarius, and it is conjunct with Pluto. Now, this is intense. Conjunctions are when the luminary or another planet conjoins another planet. So they're bringing their energy together to merge, to change and alter and make a bigger impact. And so we have the sun, you, and Pluto saying we have to transform some things. And in your 9th house, this is a focus on transforming your beliefs, your education, your worldview. This is going to be a powerful time for you to uncover these deeper truths, to dive in deep to study or spiritual exploration or travel, embracing the changes that align with your continual evolving perspective. Then on January 23rd, we're now going to have Mars in Cancer, and Mars is going to be in a harmonious aspect with Uranus in your 12th house. And so Mars is retrograde, having you go back over your money, your resources, what you need to feel secure. And so it's these innovative solutions, the idea of financial stability that can now emerge, and I have these opportunities to resolve these hidden or unconscious financial blocks that you've been experiencing. You can explore these creative ways to manage your money and for you to address emotional or psychological ties that you have to money or your finances. Then on January 28th, we're now looking at Venus, and I want to show you that this is the area of your life that she's now going to retrograde over. So she's starting her pre-shadow. She's going to move forward, but I want you to pay attention to what happens in your life at this time with your career goals, your professional relationships, your personal image, because it's you reflecting on your professional achievements, and you're going to be revisiting these projects or these connections from the past, because she's going to move forward, but this is the area that when she retrogrades that she will bring you back to. So just make a note of what's going on in my life at this time. Then on January 29th, we have a couple of things going on. We have Mercury in Aquarius now conjunct with Pluto in Aquarius. Now, Mercury, your chart ruler, it's about topics of you, your identity, and your home. So wherever Mercury is, whatever it's doing, it affects those two areas of your life. And now it's conjunct with Pluto, and Pluto is saying, it's time to transform. And so this is about intense mental focus on learning, on traveling, on philosophical pursuits, publishing. This could have something to do with taking a class, taking a workshop. It's cross-cultural experiences. And so this is going to be a transformative time to expand your mind. You communicating your ideas boldly, you seeking out these opportunities in your life for these intellectual breakthroughs. On the same day, you're also going to be having this new moon. I absolutely love this because this is saying it's time. A fresh start, a clean slate, a new beginning for higher learning, travel, growth. Remember that the 9th house is your access to wisdom. It's about you, and it's you connected to the outside world. How do you do it? How do you get there? Who do you connect with? How does it change you? Publishing, learning, teaching, traveling, all of these. And so this is ideal for you to set these goals related to education, adventure, and spiritual exploration. Plan these new adventures or look to commit to deepening your knowledge in areas that can inspire you. So Gemini, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for new moon or full moon astrology consultations. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community. For private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I want to start off with January 3rd with Venus entering into the sign of Pisces. Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, money, resources, and her moving into this area of your life inspires compassion and creativity, this desire for spiritual and this intellectual growth. This is great for travel, for higher learning. This is great for publishing, exploring philosophical ideas, you engaging in activities that broaden your horizons or connect you with other people, such as planning a trip or taking a course or just diving into spiritual studies. Also on this day, probably the most powerful aspect of this month is Mars in Leo, and it is opposing Pluto in Aquarius. And so the first time this happened, it happened in the end degrees of Cancer and Capricorn. So it was ending a major chapter that had to do with you and partnerships. And now this is another aspect of an opposition of power and tension between your finances, your personal finances, and your shared resources. There will be one more of these, but this is what it is initiating. So it's power struggles over money and your values that can now arise. I'm encouraging you to avoid any confrontations over financial matters. Instead, you taking time to focus on creating this balance between what is your personal and what are your shared responsibilities with others. Next, on January 8th, we're now going to have Mercury entering into the sign of Capricorn. So Mercury is thoughts, ideas, communication, and it wants to, it's the messenger of the gods. And so this is about communication within partnerships. It's in your +1 house. It becomes more practical, more goal oriented. It's great for discussing long-term plans within relationships. It's you working on improving your communication with close partners, both personal and professional, and being open to discuss these shared goals, these shared commitments that you have with other people. Remember that this is the +1 house. You with a business partner, you with a best friend, you with clients. Now, on the 13th, we're having the Sun in Capricorn, and it is trine Uranus. So we have the Sun in your partnership sector, and it is in a harmonious aspect to Uranus and Taurus. And so Uranus is the great thinker. It's in innovative breakthroughs. It's within your relationships or within these group dynamics. It's supporting this energy for you to collaborate or to have these shared goals with other people. This is you collaborating with other people on future-oriented like goals or projects that could be personal or professional. You strengthening your partnerships that align with your long-term aspirations. Now, on the same day, where you're also having a Cancer full moon. Remember that your ruling planet is the sign of the moon. So wherever the moon goes, you feel it. And so you've got the sun focused on you with others, but the full moon having these highlighting ideas that have to do with personal identity, your emotional needs, how you present yourself to the world. This is going to be the perfect time for self-reflection, for you to prioritize your well-being, focusing on your self-care, making changes that align with your authentic self, letting go of what no longer serves you for your personal growth, you being up in your feels and knowing, I need to take some time out for me. Then I want to look at January 15th. Now, we're going to have the sun that's in Capricorn, and it's going to be opposite of Mars in Cancer. Oppositions, they oppose each other, so it's difficult. And so there can be tension between self-assertion of what I want to do and compromise within partnerships. There can be conflicts that can arise within what you want, as in contracts or negotiations, or within friendship. This is an opportunity for you to balance your own needs with the needs of others, avoiding impulse reactions and you focusing on this constructive dialogue. On January 19th, we're going to have the sun now move into the sign of Aquarius. And so when the sun moves into Aquarius, everything now begins to shift. It brings this focus on your shared resources, deep transformation, healing, intimacy. This is a time for encouraging personal growth through introspection and your shared experiences. And so an opportunity for you to address your financial and your emotional partnerships that you have with others. This can be with exes, because there's alimony and child support. This can be with business partners, family members, or work partners. This is a time for you to dive into transformative practices like therapy or deep emotional work. Now, on the same day, we're going to have Mercury in Capricorn in your partnership sector, and it is in a harmonious aspect to Saturn and Venus in the sign of Pisces. And so this is really enhancing the +1 area of your life. Partnership. Everything is focusing on what you do with others. And so it's practical thinking that is enhancing partnerships, long-term planning, supporting these meaningful discussions and collaborations that you have with others. You strengthening your connections through honest communication of, we have a shared goal here. How can we both work towards it? You seeking advice for partnerships or within legal matters or contracts. Now, on January 21st, we're going to have the sun in Aquarius, and it's now conjunct Pluto. So you moving forward with these ideas, and now it's a conjunction with Pluto. Pluto wants to transform. It says, this is not working, and this is what we need to, this is what needs to end, and let's give birth to something new. And so the 8th house is no lie. This is an intense focus on transformation of you, about power dynamics, of shared resources, debt, taxes, income of shared income, or wills, investments. This is a powerful time for this deep emotional healing for you to address these joint finances. You embracing this change and facing your fears that are related to shared resources and emotional intimacy. You avoiding power struggles and focusing on your internal growth. On January 23rd, we now have Mars in Cancer, and it's in a harmonious aspect because it's in your first house of self. It's retrograde, going back over you, your identity, and it's in a harmonious aspect to your goals, your dreams, your hopes, your wishes. And so this is an opportunity for innovative action, for leadership within groups or social settings. You taking the initiative and saying, I'm going to focus on these group activities, these community endeavors. I'm going to stay open to new ways of how I can assert myself while contributing to collective goals. Then as we look to January 28th, we look at where Venus is at, and Venus is going to be, this is her pre-shadow time. So Venus is in your 9th house, and we have a focus on what you are starting now. You will go back and review, rethink, redirect. She's showing you an area where the focus is going to be reevaluating your beliefs, your travel plans, your educational pursuits. You moving forward, but knowing I'm going to reflect on my past experiences within education and travel and publishing and legal matters, spirituality, religion. You revisiting opportunities for growth in these areas. Remember that she's moving forward, but this is an area that she's going to come back and cover again in retrograde. Then on January 29th, we have Mercury in Aquarius. And so Mercury is now conjunct Pluto. This is intense. Mercury, thoughts, ideas, communication, travel, technology, and Pluto being the god of the underworld who says, let's transform this. This isn't working. Contracts, negotiations, you connected with other people. And so this is deep and transformative conversations. The 8th house is the house of taboo topics. This is about your finances, intimacy, emotional bonds, you saying, we have to address these topics. We have to bring these things up. You addressing the underlying issues within partnerships or financial matters, looking for clarity and looking for courage and healing. On the same day, you're going to be having a new moon in the same area of your chart. And so new moons are always a fresh start, clean slate, new beginning within shared resources. This deep connection, because now I have this clarity, this transformative process. Set your intentions in order to improve your financial or emotional partnerships. Embrace these new opportunities for you to experience healing and personal transformation. So Cancer, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For exclusive content and deeper insight, check out my Patreon community using the link below, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I want to start with January 3rd and Venus entering into the sign of Pisces. Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, money, resources. She wants to bring people, places, and things together. In your 8th house, it's a focus on your shared resources, your intimacy, you going through a healing and a transformation of. Having Venus here, it's going to be a time for a deepening of your emotional connections with other people, to resolve financial matters that are tied to others, exploring intimate or emotional connections with partners, and you engaging in like financial joint planning with others. The 8th house is you with others. And so this could be with alimony with exes. This could be with a business partner, your investments, your money, your resources, joint financial planning, or your emotional investments. This is going to be a good time for you to be releasing past emotional baggage. Now, on the same day, there's what I consider to be probably the most powerful aspect of the month. It's going to be Mars in your 1st house of your identity, you, yourself, opposing Pluto. Now, the first time this happened was in November, and it was in the last degrees of Cancer and Capricorn. And so that was about a major ending. And so now we have another opposition, a hard one, but it's in the beginning stages of. And so you're going to get it one more time later. And so the 1st house, this is about intense dynamics between what are your personal desires and your partnerships. And so there can be these power struggles within, or tensions within relationships that can come up, or highlighting issues of who has control, how much control, why do we have control over me. The 7th house is your +1 house, so it's business partners, significant others, best friends, and so it's clients. At this time, look to avoid confrontations and within your relationships or within your partnerships. Focus on balancing what your needs are with those of your partners. Use this time for like self-empowerment and working through any personal challenges that you have. As we look to the 8th, on January 8th, we're now going to have Mercury entering into the sign of Capricorn. Now, Mercury, thoughts, ideas, communication, travel, technology. The Capricorn area of your life is really going to be highlighted. This is your day-to-day habits, your health. And so there can be this practical focus now on health, work, daily routines, getting healthy, staying healthy, coming up with a routine that works. This is a really great time for you to organize tasks and for you to set these long-term health goals. Focus on improving your work-life balance, productivity, and your overall well-being. You planning for healthier habits or tackling any lingering work tasks that require your attention. Next, on January 13th, we're going to have the Sun in Capricorn, and it's going to be trine Uranus. So here we have the Sun and we have Uranus. This is a harmonious aspect. So we have the Sun being you, your day-to-day habits, and Uranus with your career sector. And so you've got these innovative opportunities that can now come up within your work life, your career, that are now going to emerge. This is like really working with you. This is like a time to break through and have these moments in how do I approach my daily routine, my long-term professional goals, and me embracing these changes within my work, within my career paths, or the ways that I work. This is a great time for you to make these bold moves, making these positive shifts within your work routine or within your professional life. On the same day, you're going to be having a Cancer full moon. Again, the focus is still the Sun, and it's illuminating the full moon. Cancer full moons are always very feelings and emotions, and you're going to be all up in your feels, and it's highlighting your spiritual health, your subconscious patterns. The having a full moon here, remember, their full moons bring about endings and closures and culminations, and so this is ending something that has to do with your private life. This is a time for a deep emotional release, a reflection on your inner growth, reflecting on your inner world, you letting go of any hidden fears or emotional baggage that you have been holding on to, you focusing on self-care, on rest, on spiritual renewal, you making sure that you're taking time out for you. Then on January 15th, we have the Sun in Capricorn, and that is still focused on your day-to-day habits, and it's going to be opposite of Mars in Cancer. Oppositions are hard aspects where one opposes the other. And so we now have this tension coming up between your health and your work priorities, and your need for rest, recovery, emotional recovery, spiritual, emotional, psychological, all of this renewal. There can be these frustrations that arise over how do I balance my productivity with my personal reflection, me having to find ways to incorporate more self-care in my daily life. Avoiding overworking or pushing yourself too hard, being easier and gentler on yourself, giving yourself space to recharge. Then on the 19th, we're going to have the Sun now enter into the sign of Aquarius. So when the Sun enters into the sign of Aquarius, the energy now takes a more innovative shift. And so we have the Sun here. The focus is going to be on love, relationships, partners, collaborations. It brings this fresh perspective in how do I relate to others. This could be with clients, this could be with best friends. It's emphasizing independence, individuality within your partnerships. It's strengthening your connections with your partners, both personal and professional. This is an opportunity for you to embrace new ways of how do I relate, and that honors both my individuality and my need for partnerships or relationships with others. Now, on the same day, we're going to have Mercury in Capricorn, and it's going to be in a harmonious aspect, really saying, this is where I want you to go, this is what I want you to do, in a harmonious aspect with Saturn and Venus in your 8th house of taboo topics, secrets, fears. And so it's your connection with other people. And so it's about practical thinking that supports your long-term plans, particularly with your work, with your financial partnerships. This is an excellent aspect to work with that is focusing on my career goals, my shared resources, that I can focus on work-related projects, financial planning. I can strengthen my relationships with colleagues or business partners and plan for the future with this. This is like harmonious, pushing you in that direction. Then as we move to January 21st, we now have the Sun conjunct Pluto. A conjunction is when the luminary and the planet, or two planets, merge their energy together. And Pluto is the god of the underworld. It forces transformation, and the Sun is where you're illuminating your energy. And so there's this intense focus on, I have to transform my relationships, my partnerships. There are these power dynamics within partnerships that now come to the forefront. This is an opportunity for you to embrace these changes within your relationships that allow for deeper emotional connection with others, and using this time that I have to address the power struggles within clients, business partners, best friends, significant others, or the challenges that can come with a partnership. And this can be verbal or nonverbal. Remember, this is the house of contracts and negotiations also. On the 23rd, we're going to have Mars in Cancer, and it's going to be in a harmonious aspect to Uranus in Taurus. Both of these planets are stationed retrograde and merging their energy together in a harmonious aspect that says, I have these innovative plans, these ideas that involve private matters, like I got this through a dream or ancestors, or the idea came to me while I was working behind the scenes. This has the potential to affect not just your career, but it could be your public image. This is an opportunity to use your creativity, your intuition, to take this action in an area that you are not immediately visible to others. You doing the behind the scenes work, working on your personal growth, your healing, that will eventually support your career and your ambitions. As we move to the 28th, I want to talk about Venus. Now, Venus, she's now going to be in her pre-shadow. So this is the weeks that come before, this is the area that she's going to cover in your life that she will go retrograde over. And so focus on what you're starting now, because you're going to be revisiting past emotional and financial matters. It's about bringing a reflection to shared resources, intimacy, and transformation. It's going to show you the area that you're going to come back and revisit for any unresolved emotional issues that you have with others. It'll be a time that you're going to take to revisit old connections that really need you to go back to your life and rework it in order to feel complete and to heal from. Then on the 29th, we're going to have Mercury in Aquarius, and it is going to be conjunct Pluto. Now, Mercury, thoughts, ideas, communication, travel, and conjunct with Pluto. And Pluto is saying, we got to transform this. This is not working. And so this is about deep, intense conversations within partnerships or you with other people, clients. This could be exes or this could be enemies. Remember, the 7th house is you with partners. And so this is about mental focus is on transforming how do you approach relationships and all types of collaborations, having these meaningful, transformative discussions with your close partners. This is an excellent time for you to address any important issues that come up within relationships or about power struggles. On the same day, you're also going to be having a new moon. So new moons, fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings. And so whether it's personal or professional, you are setting these intentions for new ways of how can I relate to others and how can I enhance my connection, my partnerships. I want to begin these new projects within partnerships. I want to make these changes that support my long-term relationship growth. I want to set intentions for healthy and empowering connections. I'm ready to transform this area of my life. And so, Leo, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I want to first talk about January 3rd. Venus is now going to be entering into the sign of Pisces in your partnership sector. So Venus wants to bring people, places, and things together. She's about money, love, values, resources. And so the focus is going to be on your relationship, your partnership, harmony, creating harmony or connections with your one-on-one partnerships or relationships. This could be with clients, best friends, bringing compassion and creativity to your interactions that you're having with others. Now, you can deepen your bonds at this time with your partners, whether they're romantic or they're platonic. This is a really great time for you to resolve any conflicts or misunderstandings with love and with kindness. Also on January 3rd, we're going to have what I think is probably the most powerful aspect of the month. It is going to be the Mars in Leo opposition with Pluto. Now, the first time that this happened, it was in the last degrees of Cancer and Capricorn, and so it was about ending a major chapter of your life. And now you have this brand new beginning, and it's this opposition. Oppositions are difficult. It's about power struggles. It's about something has to give. And so there's this tension between I need rest and my hidden emotions versus my daily responsibilities, my health. Can I keep up? This is about an internal conflict that can arise out of a work-life balance and not having a healthy work-life balance, because Pluto is in your house of finding a balance between home and work, and it's also what I give to others. So look for avoiding burnout by addressing any subconscious frustrations that you have at this time. Use this time to focus on healing and balancing your personal and your professional life. Next, I want to move towards January 8th. So on January 8th, we're now going to have Mercury, your chart ruler, move into the sign of Capricorn. So it's always important for you to follow wherever Mercury is. Mercury rules over who you are, your identity, and your career, your authority figures, responsibilities. And so we have Mercury now moving and shifting the focus to creative projects or romance or children or hobbies. This is going to be a time for you to be planning and structuring your creative and your leisure pursuits, because remember, we just had that big opposition. And so it's like, I need more fun, more pleasure, more joy. I need more balance. It's about strategizing these creative projects and investing in romantic plans, in fun and pleasure. Use this transit to express yourself with clarity and precision. Then we move to January 13th. So on the 13th, we now have the Sun in Capricorn, and that has us focused on fun and joy and innovative breakthroughs because it's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus. And so the sun working with Uranus together says, I have this really great idea. It's about creativity and romance and long-term goals. It's this blending adventure with practical strategies. I can make this happen. This is what I want it to look like. This is you taking the calculated risks in your creative projects or your romantic pursuits, you exploring new opportunities for personal growth and joy. Now, on the same day, you're also going to be having a full moon in the sign of Cancer. So full moons are endings, closures, culminations. They reveal what we have not seen or did not see before. And so the sun is focusing on these things, but the moon is saying this is where it's going to end. This is where the culmination is going to be. And so it's bringing clarity to your friendships, to your social networks, to your long-term aspirations and goals. It's about emotional energy highlights that place of where your place in the community is. The 11th house represents your goals, your dreams, and who do you achieve those things with. And so you reflecting on groups and networks that you belong to. And so you are possibly going to let go of any outdated social connections that you have, and you focusing on, I want to nurture those things that align with my goals. This could have you going through anything that's like your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, your LinkedIn, like wherever your partnerships, people that you talk to on the phone, and saying, I'm going to clean these things out. I haven't talked to these people in a while, or this group no longer resonates with me. So next, on the 15th, we're going to talk about the sun in Capricorn, and it's going to be opposite with Mars in Cancer. And so an oppositions are difficult. It's one thing opposes another. And so there's this tension between my personal joy and my responsibilities to my groups, to my friendships. There can be this conflict that can arise with between your personal desires, your external explorations, you having to decide, I need to balance my creative and my romantic endeavors with my group obligations. I would encourage you to avoid impulse reactions on your social settings at this time because Mars is retrograde. Then on the 19th, I want to take a look at the sun now entering into the sign of Aquarius. And so now the energy shifts. So the sun is you, and Aquarius, it's shifting your focus to your daily routines, your health, your work responsibilities, how I support other people, balancing home and career, encouraging you to have innovation and individuality in how you approach tasks. And so you streamlining your daily habits, you implementing these fresh ideas into your work environment. This is a really great time for you to focus on your health and your wellness goals. We also are going to have on the same day Mercury in Capricorn, and Mercury in Capricorn is going to be in a harmonious aspect with Saturn and Venus in your partnership sector. And so with this, it's about practical communication that can be enhanced with or enhancing my romantic or my friends. Remember, the 7th house is you plus others, so best friends, significant others, and this is a harmonious aspect of, am I making myself clear? Are they understanding this? It's strengthening your ability to effectively communicate with all of your one-on-one relationships, your partnerships, your consultations. You possibly saying, I'm going to plan a romantic or creative pursuits with clear and practical mindset. This is what I want to do, and I'm going to make a plan to make this happen. Using this time to deepen your partnerships and setting these mutual goals. On January 21st, we're then going to have the sun in Aquarius conjunct with Pluto. Any conjunction merges the energy of either the luminary and the planet or both of the planets together. And so Pluto is the planet of death, the underworld, and it says it's time to transform. What you're doing is not working. I have this great idea. Let's do this. And so this is an intense focus on transforming your day-to-day routines, your self-care, your health, your work environment. This is a powerful opportunity for you to be able to create something that will last and have this change that'll last over a longer period of time. It's saying that I'm going to balance my home and my work, or I have this idea for my health, or for vitamin supplements. This is also alternative healthcare and healing practices and modalities. And so this is a big time for you to address any unhealthy habits or unhealthy work dynamics, embracing the transformative changes that can lead to better health for you and better productivity. On the 23rd of January, we're going to have Mars in Cancer. And remember, Mars is retrograde, and it's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus. And so both of them are retrograde going backwards, but both of them are going to work together. This is about an opportunity arising for this informative, innovative collaborations, or these group activities that you can have with other people. It's thinking outside the box. It's going to be a great time to explore new educational or travel opportunities that come up. You seeking out group projects or adventures that align with your long-term goals. You collaborating with others to explore a different, fresh perspective. Then on the 28th, I want you to pay attention to what happens from the 28th on in your life with Venus. Venus is now going to, this is her retrograde shadow period, where she's moving forward in an area of your life that she's going to go back and review, rethink, revise, rewind. And so her in this area of your life is focusing on reevaluating friendships and partnerships and clients and past patterns with people. And so you reflecting on your one-on-one connections and identifying things that work for you with things that will need adjustment. And so she's going to move forward, and then she's going to dip into your 8th house, and then she'll be back again when she's retrograde. Then on January 29th. So on the 29th, we're going to have Mercury, your chart ruler, conjunct with Pluto. This conjunction is merging the energy together. And so this is intense. It's a focus on communication with your work, your health routines, finding that balance between home and work, thinking outside the box, being innovative. This is a time that you're going to want to address any underlying health issues, mental, physical, spiritual, psychological, sexual, emotional, that come up within your daily life with clarity and depth. You communicating clearly and directly with colleagues or healthcare practitioners about any ongoing challenges. Use this energy to uncover some transformative solutions, because on the same day, you're also going to be having a new moon. New moons are always fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings, and so it's a fresh start to a daily routine or health or work life routine. This is an ideal time for you to set your intentions for how can I improve my daily life with these long-term goals. So Virgo, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I want to first start with January 3rd with Venus, your chart ruler, and where she's going and what's going on with her. Venus is the goddess of love and beauty and money, and she wants to bring people, places, and things together. She wants to unite. And so Venus is now moving into the sign of Pisces. So your focus is now going to be on, I want to bring harmony, creativity, compassion to my daily life, to my routines. I want to bring it to my work environment. I want to bring it to my healthcare practices. Use this time to establish these nurturing daily habits that can improve your workplace relationships and focus on wellness, these activities that soothe your mind, your body, and your soul. Also, on the 3rd, we have what I think is probably the most difficult aspect of the month, and that's going to be Mars in Leo opposite of Pluto and Aquarius. Now, we first had this opposition in Cancer and Capricorn at the 29th degree in November. And so that was a hard aspect. It was an anaretic degree of ending. And so this is at the beginning degrees of showing us a new area of where there's going to be this clash. So now we have this tension between group activities, my personal creative expression, my romantic relationships or partnerships. There can be these power struggles that can arise within social dynamics that can come up with your friends. I would encourage you to avoid conflicts within your social situations, your connections, your group activities, group dynamics, or romantic settings. Focus on how can I balance my involvement with my group endeavors, with my personal passions, and my relationships. Next, on January 8th, we're looking at Mercury entering into the sign of Capricorn. Mercury is thoughts, ideas, communication, travel, technology, and now being in an area of your life where you're going to be focusing on practical communication for your home, your family, your emotional foundation, your living situation, your personal life. Having Mercury here in Capricorn, it's going to be a great time for you to be planning and resolving any domestic matters or issues or things that come up. You organizing your living space, you discussing the family plans or addressing any emotional dynamics that come up with you and your partner, or you and your family members, or you and your children, focusing on long-term stability. Next, on January 13th, we have the Sun in Capricorn, now in a harmonious aspect to Uranus and Taurus. So the Sun focused on your home in a harmonious aspect with Uranus in your 8th house of your shared resources. And so it brings up the topic of an opportunity, because they're working together, for breakthroughs within your home life or your shared financial matters. This is this positive energy that's for emotional or financial transformation. The 8th house is the house of transformation, of healing, of after things have been dealt with. The 8th house is transformation of healing after loss or death. And so having these two planets work together, it's you making changes within your home environment or addressing your shared resources that you have with others, and embracing these innovative approaches to emotional healing, or where your investments are for your financial planning. On the same day, we are also going to be having a Cancer full moon. So the Sun still focused on home. The Cancer full moon is very watery, intuitive, it's psychic, it's just full up in its feels. And full moons, they bring about endings and closures and culminations. And so this is something ending, a closure, a culmination that has to do with your career, your public image, your long-term goals. And it brings clarity to your professional path, to your achievements. It's you reflecting on your career, on the trajectory of where you want to go, and resolving any professional issues that now come up. You focusing on nurturing your ambitions and enhancing your public image. As we move to the 15th, we now look at the Sun in Cancer and it's opposite of Mars. Sun in Capricorn, opposite of Mars in Cancer. And so oppositions are just that. They oppose each other. It's tension between the two. And so we have tension between home responsibilities and your professional ambitions, or professional responsibilities, or what people expect of you in the outside world. 10th house topics, your goals, your reputation, honors, awards. And so how do I balance my life with my career demands? This is a challenging opposition. It's you being able to find harmony between your domestic and your professional spheres. You avoiding impulsive reactions and prioritizing thoughtful decision making, because Mars is going retrograde. It's going back and it's reviewing some topics. As we move to the 19th, we now have the sun move into the sign of Aquarius. So the energy is now going to shift to more creativity, romance, beauty, self-expression, children, childlike activities, encouraging exploration of your hobbies and your activities that bring you joy and pleasure. You embracing these opportunities of fun and self-expression, and you saying, I need to spend more time on my creative pursuits or to deepen my romantic connections. Now, on the same day, we're going to have Mercury in Capricorn, still focused on home, in a harmonious aspect with Venus and Saturn. And now, I love this because it's about practical communication that supports your domestic at-home planning and your healthy routines. How can I make all of this happen? What does this take in order to make all this happen? I need to make this a routine. And so it's encouraging structured yet compassionate interactions between home and work. It's strengthening your family connections. It's implementing practical strategies that improve your health and your work-life balance. As we look to January 21st, we're now going to have the sun in Aquarius, and it's going to be conjunct Pluto. Now, remember, conjunctions are where the energies are merged, and so Pluto is the planet of birth, death, and rebirth, saying we have to transform this. This is not working. And so it's about intense focus on creativity, children, romance, beauty, where I'm willing to take a risk, healing my inner child, being connected to my inner child. This transformative period for your self-expression and your personal passions. This is you diving deep and saying, I need to dive deep into my creative or romantic pursuits, using this energy to make these meaningful changes in how do I express myself, how do I connect with my loved ones. Next, on the 23rd, we're going to have Mars in Cancer in a harmonious aspect. Remember, Mars is stationed retrograde going back, but it's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus. So both of them are going backwards, saying, let's go back and revisit this area. So it's this innovative opportunity that emerges within your career or your shared financial matters, your connections that you have with others. And it's encouraging you to say, I need to think outside the box to solve this solution. It's addressing career challenges with creative solutions. It's exploring ways to, how can I improve my financial stability, or how can I transform my professional dynamics. Next, on the 28th, we have Venus retrograde shadow period. So I want you to take note of Venus is in your 6th house of your daily habits. And so Venus is now going to cover an area where she's going to go back and rethink it, revise it, reevaluate your daily routines, your healthcare practices. Notice whatever starts now, you're going to go back, and these past issues or themes, they're going to resurface for a recalibration, you reflecting on your approach to work and to health and saying, how can I revisit these old habits or routines? And I need to consider adjustments for my long-term improvement. Then on the 29th, we are going to have Mercury in Aquarius, and it is now conjunct Pluto. Everything has to bypass Pluto first. And so my thoughts, my ideas, my communication is now going to transform completely. This is about deep transformative conversations that involve creativity, romance, self-expression, beauty, love, joy. This is going to be a powerful time for you to uncover any hidden truths, exploring these projects with focus and passion, having these honest discussions within your partnerships or your relationships, either with your partner or with children. On the same day, you're also going to be having an Aquarius new moon. New moons are fresh slate, clean slate, new beginnings. It's a fresh start with creativity, romantic, or hobbies of, I'm ready to plant the seeds. I'm ready to set my intentions that are related to joyful pursuits, beginning new creative projects, or a romantic endeavor, or tapping into my inner child, or something that has to do with your children. You focusing on aligning your passions with your long-term goals. So Libra, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, visit willowgracemystic.com. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Scorpio Sun, Moon, and Rising, I want to start off with January 3rd and Venus entering into the sign of Pisces. Now for you, this is in a very harmonious aspect of your life because it's in a trine to your first house of your identity. So this enhances your creativity, your romance, your personal expression, childlike activity, tapping into your inner child. This will be a time for you to focus on artistic pursuits or heartfelt connections that you have with others. Indulge in hobbies or spend time with loved ones. This is a time that you can embrace these opportunities for romantic or my connection to what brings me joy and pleasure. On this day, we are also having an opposition that I think is probably the most powerful aspect of the month, and that is going to be Pluto, Mars opposition. Now, this opposition happened in November in the later degrees, the 29th degree of Capricorn and Cancer. So it was a major ending. And so now it's happening again. It's going to happen one more time after this. So it's like 3 hits. And so this is at the beginning of. And so there's this tension between your career ambitions, your home, your family responsibilities, these power struggles. Pluto wants to transform. Mars is stationing retrograde, going back over some areas of family responsibility, power struggles, in either of these areas of your life. Look to avoid conflicts both within your professional and in your home setting. Strive for balance within your public and your private life while focusing on your long-term goals during this transit. Next, on January 8th, we're going to have Mercury enter into the sign of Capricorn. Now, Mercury is thoughts, ideas, communication, travel. And so now it entering into your house of communication, all types of technology and communication becomes a focus. This is really great for learning, for teaching, for handling those daily interactions with others with clarity. This is you having the foresight to be able to say, I can organize my thoughts, I can make these detailed plans, I can engage in these meaningful connections with and discussions with others, and I can strengthen my communication with siblings, neighbors, cousins, or with my local networks. As we move to January 13th, we're going to have the Sun in Capricorn in a harmonious aspect with Uranus. And so the Sun in Capricorn in a harmonious aspect with Uranus in your partnership sector, it's encouraging these innovative partnerships, these fresh ideas within how do I communicate, different ways to communicate, what does contracts, negotiations, best friends, significant others. This is a supportive period that it's for teamwork and collaborative projects. You being able to explore new ways of connecting with others that you can revamp your communication style. You can collaborate with partners in order to achieve these shared goals together. Now on the same day, you're also going to be having a Cancer full moon. So the Sun doing all of that is also illuminating an area of your life where you're going to have an ending, a culmination, so it's illuminating. The moon, very sensitive in the sign of Cancer, is illuminating your beliefs, higher education, long distance travel, emotional clarity. This is emerging around your worldview, your spiritual pursuits. So this could be an ending of a class or a workshop or ending of a travel. You reflecting on your personal philosophies, your plans for your growth, and you focusing on how can I resolve these issues that are related to education or travel. All right, next on January 15th, we have the Sun in Capricorn and it's opposite of Mars in Cancer. So Sun, you opposition, difficult, tension, Mars in Cancer. Mars is retrograde. So this is tension between your daily responsibilities, your long-term aspirations, things that you want to do, the way that you're communicating it. The sun down here is neighbors, siblings, cousins, people that you communicate with on a daily basis. So this is about conflicts arising between local matters and these broader goals or thoughts and ideas. You saying, I have to balance my immediate tasks with my desire to explore, to seek out adventure, classes, workshop, publishing, legal matters, avoiding impulse decisions in either area of your life. Next, on January 19th, we have the sun entering into the sign of Aquarius. And so the sun now shifts its focus to home, family matters, your emotional foundation, encouraging this thinking outside the box, innovation of independence, and topics that are about domestic matters. You saying, I'm going to make some changes to my living situation, my living environment. I'm ready to strengthen my family connections, focusing on this creative yet stable, dynamic home life. On the same day, you're also going to have Mercury in Capricorn in a harmonious aspect with Saturn in Pisces and Venus in Pisces. I really like this because it's really pushing for practical thinking that supports creative endeavors and this heartfelt communication. We have Mercury wanting to communicate and Saturn wanting to build something that lasts. So it's a productive time for you to work, to play, you using this energy to express yourself clearly in creative and romantic settings, or with your children, and or with your lover, or with meeting the needs of your own inner child. You collaborating on projects that align with your passions and your desires. On January 21st, we now have the sun in Aquarius, and it is conjunct with Pluto. And so a conjunction is when they're merging their energy together, and Pluto is intense. And so the sun being you, saying, I have to be ready for this intense focus on transforming my home, my family dynamics, my living situation, my personal life. This is going to be this powerful period of emotional healing and addressing these deep-seated, deep-rooted issues. You saying, I'm ready to embrace the change within my living situation or within my family relationships. Me working towards creating an empowering emotional foundation of which to build my life upon. Remember, Pluto is going to be here for the next 20 years, transforming what does your home life look like. On the 23rd, we're now going to have Mars in Cancer, and Mars is still retrograde, and it's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus in Taurus, so partnerships. And so it's encouraging all kinds of these innovative partnerships, these great ideas for you to take these bold actions within travel or educational pursuits. You saying, I want to collaborate with others, these existing projects or adventures, you staying open to new ideas within relationships or personal growth, and maybe going back to thoughts or ideas that you had before. Remember, a retrograde means I need to go back and it's review, rethink, revise, rewind. Next, I want to take a look at January 28th. So on January 28th, I want to draw your attention to Venus. Now, Venus is now going to be entering her pre-shadow. From what happens from here until she actually stations retrograde, this is the area of your life that she's covering, that she's going to go back and reevaluate relationships, reevaluate your creative projects, reevaluate what brings you personal joy. All of these past romantic or creative themes are going to resurface. So pay attention to what you're starting now, because you're going to be revisiting unfinished projects or your connections that need a resolution during the retrograde period. On January 29th, we have Mercury in Aquarius, now conjunct Pluto. Everything has to bypass Pluto. And we know Pluto is saying, let's transform this. And Mercury, thoughts, ideas, communication, travel, technology. And so it's deep, transformative conversations that you can now have. It's uncovering the truth, stepping into your DNA, your grandparents, the lineage, things that have been passed down from one generation to another. What gives you emotional security? You saying, I'm going to address any unresolved issues within my family or domestic life, using this energy in order to build and strengthen my emotional foundation. On the same day, you're also going to be having this beautiful new moon in the sign of Aquarius. New moons are fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings that has to do with home and family matters for you. So it's perfect for setting the intentions that are related to your living situation, your emotional well-being, you beginning these new projects that are either at home or establishing habits that nurture your emotional stability, you focusing on creating this supportive environment that you are building, your foundation. So Scorpio, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I want to start off with January 3rd with Venus now moving into your home sector. So Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, money, resources, and she brings harmony and creativity to your home, to your family life. She encourages emotional connections and this nurturing, happy, joyful living environment for you. So you focusing on beautifying your home, or spending quality time with your family, or creating a peaceful, beautiful atmosphere within your home. Remember, the fourth house is your living situation and it's your personal life. Now, on the same day, there is this powerful aspect that I think it's like the most difficult of the month. It will be Mars opposing Pluto. We had the first Mars opposite Pluto in November, and it was in the 29th degree, or the anaretic degree, in the sign of Cancer and Capricorn. So it was ending a major chapter. This one is at the beginning degrees. And so this is highlighting an area of where it's going to initiate a power struggle. There's going to be one more in a few more months, but let's just talk about this one. So this one causes tension between the big picture goals, things that you want to do, such as travel, higher learning, publishing, philosophy, beliefs, religion, your immediate responsibilities, neighbors, siblings, cousins, communication, local matters, things that are like at home or closer to home. So avoid conflicts about education, travel, communication related matters. Channel this energy into finding a balance between long-term aspirations and your everyday tasks. On January 8th, we're moving into Mercury, now entering into the sign of Capricorn. So Mercury, thoughts, ideas, travel, communication, and in the sign of Capricorn, it's focused on your money, your resources, your skill set. And so it's this focus of shifting to practical thinking about your finances, your personal values, your resources, your skill set, your talents. This is going to be a great time for you to budget, for you to reorganize your financial goals. Plan your finances carefully during this time. Remember, this is about contracts and negotiations. It's things that can be written down. And so review your spending habits. Focus on building this long-term stability with Mercury in Capricorn. Next, on January 13th, we're now looking at the Sun in Capricorn in a harmonious aspect to Uranus and Taurus. So the Sun in Capricorn to your sixth house of daily habits. And so focusing on these two planets working together, saying, I'm encouraging you to have an innovative approach to earning income, to finding a balance between work and play, to manage your daily routines. There can be these opportunities for financial breakthroughs that can now arise. You exploring these different methods of how can I increase my income, and how can I improve my work-life balance, and how can how can I focus on these things? I need to be open to creative changes within my day-to-day routine. Remember that the 6th house is the balance between home and work, and it's also how do I nurture and care for myself, and how much do I give to other people. On the same day, you're going to have this beautiful full moon. Now, this full moons, they're endings, they're closures, they're culminations, and they reveal what was hidden. And this is an emotional one because it's in the watery sign of Cancer. And so it brings you this culmination, this ending of something that has to do, or clarity within shared resources, and this transformative experience. This will be a time that you need to address your financial partnerships or any deep-seated fears, reflecting on your financial obligations, your emotional bonds, you saying, I need to put an end to releasing these old patterns that no longer serve me, and focusing on building trust within partnerships or relationships. On January 15th, we're going to move into the Sun in Capricorn, and it's going to be opposite of Mars. So we're still focusing on you, your money, your resources, your skill set, and now we have another opposition. This opposition with Mars stationing retrograde, it's this tension point between my income, my money, my resources, and my shared financial resources, where my money is invested, where my time is invested. There can be these conflicts around money or emotional intimacy that can now come up. This will be a great time for you to balance your financial independence with your shared responsibilities. Avoid any impulse financial decisions that come up, or emotional outbursts at this time. Then on January 19th, we're going to have the Sun enter into the sign of Aquarius. And so the energy is now going to shift with a focus on innovative ways that I can communicate, learning, connecting with others within my local community, encouraging innovation and these new ways of thinking. You saying, I'm ready to explore opportunities with education, networking, short distance travel, strengthening your relationship with neighbors, siblings, cousins, or people that are within your close connection. On the same day, Mercury, I'm going to go back to him. Mercury is also in a harmonious aspect with Saturn and Venus in your home sector. And so this is bringing about practical thinking, that Mercury in Saturn, practical thinking in a harmonious aspect that supports financial planning that has to do with family matters, my home, encouraging stability in both of these areas of your life. Use this energy to discuss your financial goals with your family members, or to invest on how can I improve my home environment, focusing on long-term plans or goals that can benefit like both areas of your life. On January 21st, the Sun is now going to be in the sign of Aquarius, and it is going to be conjunct with Pluto. Everything has to bypass Pluto, and Pluto is magnetic. It draws it in or it repels. And so this is about an intense focus on transforming the way that you communicate, your communication style, your learning habits. This has everything to do with you and your local connections with, this is a powerful period of mental clarity and these impactful connections or conversations that you have. Address any unresolved issues within communication or education, because it's about power struggles also. Use this energy to articulate your ideas with depth and with power. On January 23rd, we're now going to have Mars in Cancer. Mars is still stationed retrograde, and it's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus in Taurus. And so these two planets are working together, and it's an opportunity that can emerge for innovative solutions within your shared resources, or within your work, or within your health sector. We have Mars saying, let's go back and rethink and revise this. Let's redo this. How can I do this? Uranus is also retrograde, and so it's encouraging breaking free of these old patterns that are holding you back. This is you exploring creative pursuits of how can I manage my finances, my health, my collaborative projects better, being open to transformation changes that can come into both of these areas. Next, on the 28th, I want to talk about Venus. Now, Venus is now going to be in an area of your life, your home sector, where she's now going to be moving forward, but this is the pre-shadow of things that she's going to go back and reevaluate family relationships. She'll have you reevaluating your home dynamics, your emotional foundations. These themes are going to resurface, so pay attention to whatever you are starting or initiating now. This is you reflecting on your home environment with your unresolved family matters of, I am going to have to go back and go like rethink, review, reevaluate when she stations retrograde. So just know that whatever's starting now, it will be a go back and review it later during the retrograde. Now on the 29th, we now have Mercury in Aquarius conjunct with Pluto. So Mercury, the way that we communicate, our thoughts, our ideas, and so this is about deep, transformative conversations. They now take center stage. This is a time for uncovering hidden truths. This has to do with you connecting with neighbors, siblings, cousins, people that you communicate with on a day-to-day basis, like either at work or in the grocery line. Use this energy to discuss the important issues that now come up, or to solve these complex problems, or to learn something that is profound that was once hidden. Be clear and intentional within your communications, because you're also going to have this new moon. This new moon is a fresh start, clean slate, new beginning in the way that you learn, or your relationships, or with siblings, neighbors. It's with science, it's with technology. It's you setting intentions that are related to intellectual growth and networking opportunities for you. This is an opportunity for you to begin a new project that involves writing, learning, or connecting with people locally, with a focus on innovative ways of how can I express my ideas. So Sagittarius, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I want to talk about January 3rd, 1st, and this is Venus entering into the sign of Pisces. Now, Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, money, resources, and she wants to bring people, places, and things together. And so she's enhancing your communication style with creativity and harmony within your daily interactions with others, with writing, with short distance travel. So focus on expressing yourself with compassion, with creativity, strengthening your connections with siblings, neighbors, or within the people that you come into contact on a day-to-day basis. Also, on the 3rd, we're going to have Mars in Leo, and it's going to be opposite of Pluto in Aquarius. I think this is probably the most powerful aspect of the month. This is the second time, 2 out of 3. The first time this opposition occurred, it happened in Capricorn and Cancer, yourself and your partnerships, and now it is going to occur, and that was at the end degrees. And so now we have the beginning degree of this is also the tension that it wants to address. And so the tension arises between shared resources, intimacy, your personal finances, your personal values, these power struggles that can come up between money and control of what is mine, what is yours. These things are going to come to the surface, bubble up. Avoid any impulsive financial decisions or conflicts over shared resources if possible. Use this energy in order to address the deeper emotional and the financial issues constructively during this transit. Next, on January 8th, we're going to have Mercury enter into the sign of Capricorn. So Mercury is its thoughts, ideas, communication, travel, and so coming into your first house, it's going to bring you this mental clarity, practical thinking, so you can set these personal goals, self-expression, decision-making. Use this time to say, I want to refine my personal plans. I want to communicate my ideas clearly and effectively. focusing on tasks that can enhance your image or your personal growth. Next, on January 13th, we're now going to have the Sun in Capricorn trine Uranus in Taurus. And so the Sun being in your first house of you, your identity, in a harmonious aspect to Uranus and Taurus. I love this because this is encouraging innovation within self-expression, creativity, romantic pursuits, things that bring, or it could be children or your inner child, things that bring you joy. And so this is going to be a great time for you to explore new hobbies, showcasing your talents, you taking these bold steps for creative projects or romantic endeavors, you embracing these opportunities that you can stand out and express yourself uniquely. Also on the same day, we're going to have a Cancer full moon. So the Sun still in your first house of your identity. Now we have endings, closures, culminations, and this one is going to be highly emotional. This is a full moon in the sign of Cancer, so it's watery, it's intuitive, it's like feeling my feels, and it's in your partnership sector of you and other people. And so the tension is between my goals and my relationship demands. These conflicts can arise between partnerships over differing priorities. Remember that the 7th house is business partners, significant others, best friends, open enemies, exes, and clients. And so having this balance within you and partnerships is going to be paramount. This could also mean a client no longer needs your service, the friend moves away, or we go our separate ways, or something with the contract is null and void. And so this will be an opportunity for you to address any relationship issues with compassion and focus, or nurturing these healthy connections with others. On January 15th, we now have the Sun in Capricorn, and it's going to be opposite or opposing Mars in Cancer. So the Sun being in your first house of your identity, opposing. Opposition causes tension, and it's tension between my goals, my relationship demands. Conflicts can arise within partnerships over differing priorities of what do you want, what do they want. It could be clients, it could be best friends, it could be exes, it could be best friends. And so it's a time for you to balance what are your needs with those needs of your partners, avoiding these impulse reactions because Mars is retrograde. It's focusing on constructive communication. Now on January 19th, you're going to have the Sun now move into the sign of Aquarius. So the Sun moving into Aquarius brings about a shift where you're focused on your finances, your personal values, your resources, your skill set, your money. It's encouraging innovation and independence in how do you manage your income, exploring these new opportunities for earnings or for how do you manage your money. You aligning your spending with saving and having this balance for your habits with your core values. Now, on the same day, we're also going to have Mercury in a harmonious aspect with Saturn and Venus in the sign of Pisces. And so this brings about practical communication that supports your personal goals and strengthens your relationships in your day-to-day interactions with others, the way that you communicate, who you share your thoughts and ideas with. Use this time to articulate your ideas clearly and collaborate on projects that require focus and dedication, because they're all working together to say, this is what I want to do, and this is how this is what I want to create from this, and it'll put you in the right place at the right time with others. As we move to the 21st, on January 21st, we're now looking at the Sun is now going to be conjunct with Pluto. Everything has to bypass Pluto. Pluto is going to be in your second house of money and resources for the next 20 years. And so the Sun, being you, bring this intense focus on birth, death, and rebirth, transformation of your finances, your values, your self-worth. what was important to you is no longer going to be. This is going to change these topics for you. It's going to be a powerful time for you to address any money matters or refining what truly matters for you, embracing changes to your financial or your material goals. Avoid power struggles at this time and focus on how can I build long-term stability. On January 23rd, you're now going to have Mars in Cancer. Remember, Mars is retrograde in your partnership sector, but it's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus. I love this because this is encouraging these innovative solutions within partnerships or in romantic relationships. There can be sparks. This is creating these collaborations or exciting new dynamics that you can have with other people, working with partners or creating on these creative projects or exploring new ways in order to connect with other people within relationships. You needing to be open to unexpected but positive changes that can come for the future. As we move to January 28th, I want to draw your attention to Venus. Now, Venus is going to be stationing retrograde, but currently this is the point where she's going to be the pre-shadow. She's showing us what she's going to go back and retrograde. And so the focus will be on reevaluating your communication, your relationship with your siblings, your neighbors, these creative projects, these past themes will resurface. So whatever you're starting now, pay attention and know that you're going to reflect on your communication style. You're going to review on these ongoing projects and resolve the issues that you can have during the retrograde period. Then on January 29th, we have Mercury in Aquarius, now conjunct Pluto. Again, everything's got to bypass Pluto. And so now you're looking at deep transformative thinking about your finances, about your resources, about your personal values, your skill set, your money. This is going to be a time for you to uncover hidden financial truths about what makes an impact on the decisions of what do you do with your money? What do you value? Use this energy to truly analyze your financial situation, to clarify what are your priorities. Make plans for this long-term financial security for yourself. What's going to support this is that you're also going to be having a new moon on the same day. And so new moons are fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings. And so this is a fresh start in your in your finances, in your personal values, in your opinions, skill set, your possessions. This is the house of what do I need in order to feel secure. And so you looking at this being the perfect setting for intentions around financial growth, stability, begin a new financial venture or project that can align with your values. You focus on building a secure foundation for your future. So Capricorn, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, check out willowgracemystic.com. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community using the link below, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I want to start off with January 3rd, and that will be Venus now entering into the sign of Pisces. And for you, that is going to be in your second house. And so this is about bringing harmony, creativity, compassion into financial matters and your personal values. And this is encouraging you to find beauty in what you own and how you manage your resources. Focus on improving your financial situation, whether it's through budgeting or attracting income, that side gig, or enhancing your relationship with money or things that you value. Also on January 3rd, there's going to be what I consider to be the most powerful aspect of the month. That is going to be the Mars-Pluto opposition. This is the second of three. The first one happened in November at the last degree of Cancer and Capricorn, and this one is going to be happening at the beginning degree of Leo and Aquarius. And so this is bringing tension to an area of your life of something new. And so there's going to be tension between your personal needs and your relationship dynamics. Power struggles within partnerships that can resurface or just surface. Remember that the 7th house is your +1 house. Business partners, clients, one-on-one relationships, open enemies, exes. This is tense. And so avoid confrontations and look to seek out balance with how do I assert myself with my independence while honoring the needs of my partners, because Pluto wants to transform it. And Pluto is going to be in your 1st house of self for the next 20 years. Then on January 8th, we're looking at Mercury entering into the sign of Capricorn. Now, Mercury is thoughts, ideas, communication, travel, technology, bumping into your 12th house. So the focus is going to be on introspection, spirituality, your subconscious patterns. This is going to be a great time for research or for planning or for resolving hidden issues. Having Mercury here, this is a time for you to reflect on your inner world. It's about isolation and taking time out for reflection, pausing, yoga, meditation, to clear the mental clutter and work on letting go of old habits and fears that you have. The next date is January 13th. So on January 13th, we're going to have the Sun in Capricorn. And that is at your 12th house, and it's going to be in a harmonious aspect with Uranus in Taurus. Now, I like a harmonious aspect because this is encouraging breakthroughs within your emotional healing or within family matters for you. This aspect is a supportive time for innovative approaches for personal security for you. You focusing on creating this solid, stable foundation that's at home or addressing any family issues that can now come up. You embracing changes that can improve your inner peace. Now, at the same time, you're also going to have a full moon in the sign of Cancer. That's always very emotional. It's a water sign, so it's intuitive, it's psychic. And so full moons bring about endings, closures, culminations. And so we know that you're going to have the sun, where you're inward thinking, and the full moon illuminating your work, your health, your daily routines. And it's bringing clarity into how do you manage your time? How do you manage your energy? Reflecting on habits that make that you need to make adjustments to in order to improve your health, your work-life balance, you letting go of routines that no longer serve you. Having a full moon here can end a health problem or can end a project that you've been working on. Next, on January 15th, we're going to look at the Sun in Capricorn, and it's going to be opposite. Remember, opposites are oppositions where there's this tension point between these two areas of your life. And so there's this tension between you need rest, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional rest, and your daily responsibilities. There's this conflict that comes up between my inner healing and my external obligations. And so you're going to need to prioritize balance by making time for a reset, for self-care, by addressing the work pressures in a manageable way that works for you. As we look at the 19th, we have the Sun now moving into your sign. And so the Sun here, the focus now shifts to your personal identity, your goals, your self-expression. This is going to be your time to shine, to embrace your individuality. You taking the lead on personal projects or pursuits. You saying, I'm ready to focus on and embody my unique talents and set goals for my year ahead. Now, on the same day that's going to support you, we're going to have Mercury in your 12th house. And it's going to be in a harmonious aspect with Saturn and Venus. Saturn has the boundaries around it, the limitation, and Venus is about money and bringing people, places, and things together. And so this is about practical thinking. It's supporting your financial and your spiritual goals. It's encouraging this balanced approach to your decision making within your finances or within your values. Use this time to plan for financial stability while addressing your deeper emotional and your spiritual needs. Next, I want to talk about January 21st. We're going to have the Sun in your first house of self now conjunct Pluto. Remember, Pluto is in your first house of your identity for the next 20 years, transforming who you are. Everything has to bypass Pluto before it can move on. And so having the Sun conjunct Pluto in your first house, it's an intense focus on transformation of who you are and empowerment of who you are. This is a powerful time for redefining how do you present yourself to the world, you embracing the changes that are happening within your identity, and you taking control of your personal narrative. Use this energy. Avoid the power struggles and focus on self-empowerment, the blessings that can come from this transit. Then on January 23rd, we're going to have Mars in Cancer, which is currently retrograde, and it's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus, also in retrograde. So these two areas of your life where these opportunities can emerge that can improve this work-life balance for you with innovative health or these routines. It's about health and home routines, like, because you're bringing them together. It's using these creative solutions to manage your daily tasks in order for you to strengthen your connection to your home life. On the 28th of January, I want you to pay attention to what happens from this point on with Venus. Now, Venus is in your second house, and this is her pre-shadow. This is the area of your life that from here until she stations retrograde, she's showing you what she's going to go back and reflect upon. And that's your money, your finances, your self-worth. Old financial patterns, past material concerns, they can all come up. And so you will be reevaluating your finances, your relationship with money, your material possessions. You're going to be focused on aligning your spending habits with your core values, especially when she stations retrograde. Now, on the 29th, we're going to have Mercury in Aquarius, which is your first house, and it is also conjunct with Pluto. So remember, everything's got to go past Pluto. And so for you, it's all about you. Deep and transformative conversations about your personal goals, your identity. I love this in that you are going to state what you want, state what you need, your goals, your identity, how you communicate with others, getting to the bottom of things. Use this energy to refine your personal image, for you to gain clarity with your vision for what you want the future to be. It's about being bold and expressing your ideas. On the same day, you're also going to be having a new moon. New moons, fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings, and it's in the first house of how do I present myself. This is ideal for setting your intentions around your identity, your life direction, your goals, things that you want to start, things that you want to be doing, things of how do I want to be known. Embracing your individuality and focusing on your personal goals, setting goals that align with your authentic self and your future aspirations. So Aquarius, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultation. For private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I want to start with January 3rd with Venus moving into your first house. This is absolutely beautiful energy for you because this is boosting your charm, your attractiveness, your self-expression. You might feel more confident, more compassionate, more creative during this time. I love this because this is an opportunity for you to focus on self-care, and it's enhancing how you feel about yourself, expressing your unique personality. Take advantage of this harmonious energy to attract opportunities that you can use for connections. What's also happening on the same day, January 3rd, is probably the most powerful aspect of the month is the Mars Pluto opposition. Now, this is the second of 3. The first one happened in November in the last degrees of Cancer and Capricorn. So it was ending a major chapter. And this one is about bringing attention to a tense point of your life of attention between work, daily routines, hidden subconscious issues, these power struggles within the workplace, or health challenges that can now arise. Avoid making like any confrontations at work. Make sure that you're prioritizing your mental, physical, spiritual, emotional health and well-being during this time. Channel your frustrations for how can I improve my habits? How can I address any unresolved inner conflicts? Having Mars in retrograde here will bring up topics that have to do with your daily habits and what do I need to cut, sever, and move away from in order to have a healthy lifestyle. As we look to January 8th, we're now going to have Mercury now move into the sign of Capricorn. Now, Mercury is the way that we communicate, thoughts, ideas. It's the way that we travel. And so the focus is now going to shift on friendships and on group activities and your long-term aspirations. This is great for networking. This is really great for organizing these future goals for yourself. I love this because this is an opportunity for you to collaborate with like-minded individuals or to work on these strategic plans in order for you to achieve your dreams or to strengthen your connections within your social circles with others. As we move to January 13th, we're now going to look at the Sun in Cancer. The Sun in Capricorn. The Sun in Capricorn, and it's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus in Taurus. Now, Uranus in Taurus is stationed retrograde, so it's going back over some areas. And so it's encouraging this innovative thinking or these breakthroughs in ideas within these group activities or in these community projects. This is going to be a great time for you to have these networking or sharing of ideas. You exploring new ways of how can I connect with others and bringing these fresh perspectives to your goals, using your creativity to communicate effectively with people in your immediate like neighbors, siblings, cousins, and people that you network with. Now, on the same day, you're also going to be having this full moon. Now, the Sun being in Capricorn, it's illuminating the full moon in Cancer. So full moons are endings, closures, culminations, and this one is in this watery sign of Cancer. So it's deep, it's everybody feeling their feels, and there's going to be some kind of an ending. This could have to do with children or creative projects. This full moon is illuminating creativity, romance, joy, bringing clarity to your personal projects or relationships or hobbies. It could bring an ending or a culmination of something that you've been working on or something that has to do with children or your inner child. Reflect on your creative and your romantic pursuits. Release any patterns or blocks of something that has to do with self-expression and focus on what does bring me personal joy. Next, on January 15th, we're now looking at the Sun in Capricorn opposing Mars in Cancer. So an opposition is tense. It's two luminaries or planets that are opposing each other. So it's about tension between my social obligations and my personal passions, things that I want to do. Things that I'm expected to do, things that I want to do. And so there can be these conflicts arise between these group dynamics or these individual creative desires or ideas that you have. So balance your time between your social commitments and your personal joys. Avoid any impulse actions within social or romantic settings because Mars is stationing retrograde, willing to cut, sever, and remove anything that's in its path. As we look at January 19th, we're now looking at the Sun entering into the sign of Aquarius. So the Sun here shifts your focus to more internal, more introspection, spirituality, these hidden matters. It's encouraging rest, reflection as you prepare for this new solar cycle. Spend time with self-care, making sure that you are yoga, meditation, addressing any subconscious patterns. This is a powerful time that you can use for inner healing. Now, on the same day, we're also going to have Mercury. Mercury is in a harmonious aspect with Saturn and Venus in your first house of your identity. And so this is supporting, saying there needs to be some practical communication that's going to support my group projects and my self-expression. This aspect is a balanced approach that enhances both social and your personal goals. Use this energy to refine your public image and look to collaborate on these meaningful projects, because it's strengthening your boundaries while maintaining harmony is the end goal. On January 21st, we're going to have the Sun in Aquarius, now conjunct with Pluto. Remember, Pluto is going to be in your 12th house for the next 20 years. All planets have to go past it. That includes the Sun. And so this becomes this intense focus on subconscious transformation. Pluto is saying, do the inner work, do the shadow work. This is for spiritual growth, releasing old patterns. It's a powerful time to do the inner work. The 12th house is connected to hospitals, afflictions, dreams, intuition, psychic ability, uncovering things. And so having the deep dive into your spiritual practices, or with therapy, you can use this energy to heal and to let go of what no longer serves you. As we move to January 23rd, we're now going to have Mars in Cancer, also still stationed retrograde, in a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus, also retrograde. And so these two planets are working together, encouraging creative, innovative projects or spontaneous social connections with others. It's like, oh, I didn't know you were into that. We should try this together. This looks great. I absolutely love this. Mars wants to cut and sever and remove things that it's like in its way. And so this is you taking these bold steps in communication or with your hobbies and things that bring you joy. On the 28th of January, pay attention to what happens after this date with Venus here. So Venus is going to be in your first house of your identity. It's you. And so Venus is now entering the pre-shadow. She's letting us know what she's going to go back and rework with your self-image, with your relationships, with your values. Having Venus move through this area of your life, she's also going to move into your second house before she stations retrograde. So there could be past themes of love, self-worth. All of these topics can resurface. You reevaluating your personal goals with how you present yourself to others. Use this time to focus on self-love and refining your priorities, knowing that whatever you're going to be covering now will be a time to refine and reflect later. As we move to January 29th, we now have Mercury entering into Aquarius. And so when Mercury comes into a conjunction with Pluto, Mercury is the way we communicate, who we communicate with, how we communicate with. And the 12th house is the other. It's dreams, intuition, psychic ability. It's our ancestors, our guides, it's angels, it's astral travel, astral projection. So now it becomes deep and transformative insights into your subconscious mind or your spiritual journey. This is a time for uncovering the hidden truths. Use this energy for journaling, meditation, therapy, yoga. Focus on understanding your inner world of how can I make these transformative changes. What's going to happen on the same day is you are also going to be having a new moon. Now, an Aquarius new moon, it's fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings. And this is about spirituality. It's about inner healing. It's about letting go of the past baggage. It's perfect for setting intentions around personal growth and emotional renewal. The 12th house is where we clear out our karmic debts and we transform, heal, and renew from what was either passed down or from like karma. It's you beginning this new spiritual practice that has to do with projects that support your emotional and well-being. You focusing on clearing out the old in order to make room for the new. So Pisces, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For a private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For exclusive content and deeper insights, check out my Patreon community, and don't forget to subscribe.